What's up, everybody? So I've been wanting to show this off for a while. I did kind of a beater Luke. This is my, I'm going to tool around with hilt. It's a MHS custom saber shop Luke V1. So let me show you everything I kind of did. So that is a emitter cap from where did I get that? I think I got it from Alibaba somewhere. It has shine through in the middle and in the ring. And also I ordered the emitter cap that has the extension for more blade retention. I put copper tape on the rails, which I have to redo. They're kind of peeling off, but I have to redo that. This clamp card is a mom clamp card from, where did I get that? I think, excuse me, I think it's Skywampa that supplies them now. Or no, I think I ordered it separate, just by itself. I think Seven Chambers was offering it at one point where you could just buy the card. So I bought an extra card back then. I have not painted the neck yet, yeah, there's some scratches on here, but so I made a secret vented pommel cap. It's vented from the sides in there. So what I did was I took some aluminum wire and I fashioned it into a half crescent moon shape, made two of them, put them on the edge of the pommel right down in there, glued them in, and then placed this cap, this pommel cap, over them. But what I did was I took my Dremel and I shaved off some of the edge of the cap on these sides here, made these little vents, and I matched them up with where the crescent of those two wire pieces were stopping at. So basically, there's two moon wires here that are in the half crescent moon shape, but they don't touch. There's a gap there. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's a gap there. So anyway, on both sides. And then I wanted to test my mom chassis that I made to see if it fits in these, and it does. But this is longer than the mom. So in order for the pommel to push this into the chassis into place, I had to put O-rings in there, and I had to put a thinner one first so that those vents, which if I take this out, maybe then you'll see the vents. So those vents in there don't get blocked by the thicker one. And the thicker one, the size of it just matches the 28 millimeter speaker just right. The thinner one does not. So the thinner one goes in first, then the thicker one second. And I kind of push them all the way down in there. Okay, and then this is loose. I gotta reglue the Profi board down and this PCB. This is like my basic chassis for removable battery. I used to put the buttons on the side. I got tired of doing that because wiring these connectors to the buttons and splitting them and everything, it's just so much wires back there. So I'm trying to simplify everything. You know, I did those metal shell ones, but I could never get them to all to line up right. So I just got tired of trying. So now we're just at this basic chassis. Anyway, so there's a kill switch on board, and there's a kill switch in the control box. You might be wondering, well, why are there two? Well, my plan is that this one chassis is to power a Luke V1, V2, and V3. But the V2 and the V3, they use the Graflex clamp. So I can't put a kill switch up in that box. So on those, you'll have to use the kill switch here. But in the V1, you can leave this kill switch off, and then when you put this in to the V1, then the control box kill switch can take over. 28 millimeter speaker, stock PCB, Smuggler's Outpost control connectors, and 18650 keep power battery. Yeah, Profi 2.2 right now. Oh, and let me show you the so I don't know if you'll see those, but yeah, so there's the female connectors all nestled up there with a PCB holder, and it took quite a bit of designing, but it just slides in to that slot, and it's so teeny tiny because those are teeny tiny connectors, and getting them to align properly can sometimes be a bit of a pain because the chassis could turn ever so slightly, and because the connectors are so thin, you really don't have much play at all. So I'm not really a fan of these connectors. I like the other ones where the females have like wider pads, so you have more. Oh gosh, excuse me, I am tired. You have more play. But anyway, the problem with those ones is to get to 4-prong across, they're too wide for the body in here, so it just wouldn't fit, especially with the stock PCB right there. They would not fit, so these smaller ones had to do. So I'll show you. I really think the MHS has come a long way, which is really cool. They went with like a wider emitter ring here that I like better on here than on the mom. The mom's is a little narrower. I think overall it's a little thicker, a little more girth than the mom, which I like. You know, kind of a bigger guy, 6 foot. So I think the mom was just, I mean, the mom, I'll show you. So here's the mom, and I mean, most probably can't tell the difference, but after when you're working on these things for so darn long, your eye can start to catch on to the differences. The MHS one is a little longer overall because the body is longer than the mom. Weirdly enough, the box on the mom on the MHS is bigger than on the mom, but for some reason, the rails sit wider on the mom than they do on the MHS. I don't know, just weird subtle differences. And over time, I still love the mom. I still love my mom. But over time, I've started to appreciate I'll show you. I started to appreciate the PCB that the custom saber shop has made for the control box over the helper board that the mom has. And I'll explain why. So this PCB, it has NeoPixels, it has the button, black button controls. Technically, it's got a recharge port in here too. I don't use that because, again, it's a removable battery. So this sits sideways like that, right? Like that. And inside, for us installers, that gives me a lot more wire space for those special connectors being tucked right up under there. So much more room. The mom's helper board sits flush down, right? And then the LEDs are upright and the buttons are sideways. But the PCB itself sits flush. So when I have those connectors crammed up underneath the box, and then I got to cram down that helper board flush so that the the reveal board sits all the way down, so then the card can slide in. It pinches those wires. It pinches them down into just the opening where the body meets the control box. I mean, it's like no room, none whatsoever. I have to, like, just to fashion it down, I have to push it down and take like tweezers and push the wires in there so they don't get pinched. It is not fun. So I like this better. But it does not have a reveal board. So that's the trade-off. But I managed to get a kill in there, just like the mom.
I'm a Jedi, like my father before me.
Just right up in there, opposite to the recharge port, which TCSS guys, I kind of hope you make one of these PCBs with a kill switch there instead of the recharge port. Just another version would be great. So yeah, so the mom has that. Now, I mean, could I put a sticker there that just lays right on top and looks like the reveal board? Sure. I could design that and make a sticker and order it on.
I'm a Jedi, like my father before me.
Probably order it on Vistaprint or something. Look at that. There's your double shine through there. And then you got your aux button. Lock up. Now for the, what do they call it? The creme de la creme. Yeah. So the chamber had, as many of you probably have seen, I've had so many redesigns for a couple reasons that most people don't know. So this neck threads out of this grenade. There's separate threads right here. And because of that, here, maybe I can show you on this other one here. Here's my I don't know, fun, just tooling around, custom Old Republic or High Republic Luke. Anyway, so yeah, like this. Million threads. So it comes out, right? What I discovered was that even though there's this huge chunk of threads, you lose some of the spacing in there for a taller crystal chamber. However, you lose even more space because I don't know if you guys can see it, but you see right there, see that how it just looks different? There's a lip. There's a lip right in there. Okay? And that lip, causes my interlocking capability on my chambers to have a problem. The problem is that when I get these from the print shop, the 3D print shop, they come, sand blasted or glass blasted. So I have to polish these up, right? I don't want to take off too much material off of the top here because I don't want this to sit too crooked. Ideally, I want it to sit straight up as possible when it's being displayed in the twist lock. Okay, that's the main point. So when I'm sanding these and testing them, making sure they go in, they fit, then when I test them for the interlock part, when they would go in and hit that ridge, hit that little ridge up in there right before the threads, I would have to sand this part down a little too extra so that by the time it goes in all the way, it fits. But then when I'm down here and I want to interlock it, it's way thinner than here. So there's a ton more play than that. It looks like a lot, but look at that. There ain't much. So I was like, man, I don't want that to do that. So how do I deal with that? Well, first I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to design a sander that can go in there and sand that lip. Oh, that was an epic failure. It's a pain in the butt. The sander kept breaking. I had it 3D printed. It kept snapping. That was a nightmare, to say the least. So the next thing I decided was, what if instead of one PCB holder up in there, what if there were... Ooh, sorry, I'm taking this apart. What if there was two? And then I was like thinking about it, like, well, what if there was two? What would that do? What would that mean? Well, look at that. You can do like different configurations. That looks so cool. Anyway, so I was like, if I put two in there and I shorten the chamber, then by the time this I close it, this won't reach that ridge. So if it doesn't reach that ridge, then I don't have to sand it extra, and it'll fit nicely when it's on display down here in this OD. So that's what I did. And there was a... God, look at that. It's kind of cool, right? Man. Um, so that's what I did. Now, again, another plus and another minus, which, you're wondering what's that. The minus is it's a smaller chamber. There's less I can fit in there. Oops. What I found out is the smaller part I can't fit anymore is I can't do the spinning motor. So that does suck. I really like that, but I can still do the doors, which is cool. I mean, could I still do it? Yeah, but I'd have a tiny, tiny little crystal, and it's already kind of small. Now in this one, I put in some Graflex. So I love the way the Master Graflex Metal Master looks in the Graflex. So I was like, oh man, what parts could I get from that kit to put in mine? And I got a couple that go into the plasma gate area. A couple.
I am a Jedi.
Oops, sorry.
Like my father.
Let's see if I can sharpen that up for you. I don't know if I can get it to focus. Come on. I don't think it's gonna. Hang on. Sorry, guys. I want to get you some close-ups, but oh, you know what? I got a new phone. I bet you this phone doesn't have the special zoom. My older phone had a better one. But anyway, so there's a couple Master Graflex parts in here that I just thought would be cool. And it turned out really nice. I think it looks pretty sick. So, door closed. And technically, if I don't have that piece, I could have done another door back here, which I kind of did, and I chopped it in half to fit that. But it wouldn't. It was just flopping around too easily. Like when I go like this, it would just open. So I glued it shut. But yeah, so. God, I hate this camera on my new phone. This thing sucks. Look how blurry that is. And this is the reverse camera where I'm looking at the screen on my cell and it's facing me. It's not the other one. Maybe the one on the other side's better. Anyway, so yeah. So I think it turned out kind of cool. Again, it's my interlocking capability. Still have a door. Just not necessarily long enough to have a spinning crystal chamber.
I'm a Jedi, like my father before
me. And then before I shortened it, I had a taller chamber, which was for that hole. So then because I shortened it, I had to change that because I also shortened the distance here. So by the time that the grub went down, it was still hitting the channel. And then lastly, that plate that so the chamber you can thread it in and out still. So this plate, I had the custom saber shop make it, and they made it a little, like a hair too thick. So when I go to thread the grenade all the way down, it doesn't go all the way down. But we're talking like, I don't know, a millimeter. You probably can't see it on camera, or maybe you can. Just missed it by a hair. But I mean, it's fully solid in there, you know. So I don't know. Yeah. Oops. So yeah, that's that, guys. I wanted to show that off, and yeah, we're gonna be the next up is I'm going to. Here's the V2. Already kind of got it painted up. I just have to. I have one of these for it, so I got to make it match that with the paint. Same with the V3. Actually, I got a V3 going too. I think that clamp card is from. I think it's from Skywampa. That lever. I think that lever is from. Where's that from? I think that lever is from the Graflex shop. God, it's been a while. And then this Graflex clamp is not from the Custom Saber shop, but I think you can get them from the Custom Saber shop. This one's from Roman's Props. That cone and that mystery chunk, where did I get those? That I'm not going to remember. That's been a long time. I don't think. Oh yeah, and I did the vented secret vent down there too. I don't think it's from man, I can't remember. I don't think it's from Solo's Hold. I think I got it somewhere else, but I don't remember. And then the V3, oh, and I gotta do the D-ring on that. It still has the tri-ring. Gotta do the D-ring on that. Gotta change the D-ring on here. Clamp card also. Pretty sure from Skywampa. Graflex clamp is the V3 clamp with these holes here. All three of them from Roman's Props. I think this lever is the same lever. And yeah. Did the paint job on here with the 3 of the copper and the black ring up there. And then I think here is supposed to be, this black edge is supposed to be silver. Same with the black edge down here. Did some weathering to it. I don't know that I'm going to make these super accurate because, again, these are MHS. They're not meant to be super accurate. Although, again, they've come a very long way and they look very cool. But, you know, I got impatient waiting for seven chambers to, you know, to come out with their V2. So I was like, where else could I get one? Oh my gosh, I can make one at the Custom Saber shop. That's so cool. So I'll go ahead and try that and see how it turns out. Anyway, I'm just tooling around now, so I'll let you guys go. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned for some more videos. I do plan to have all 3 of these have their own crystal chambers. I don't know how different I'm going to make them. I'm going to try to make them different, but I do love those Graflex parts that I got, so they might all... oh, come on. They might all end up having that, so we'll see. But anyway, may the force be with you.